Speaking of being in the eye of the hurricane, well, that certainly applies to this story. Our lead to begin the show here from the Scandal Files, NFL style, and there are so many possibilities here, but there is one that stands out above all the others. The tallest blade of grass gets cut first, and this hour, the hour of Gruden, former Oakland and Las Vegas Raiders coach John Gruden. He has broken his vow of silence. He has spoken about his banishment from pro football, kicked out by the Raiders in the middle of last NFL season and not working anywhere. He does have litigation going against the NFL. So I don't know if you saw this or heard about it. Maybe not. It's been bouncing around the echo chamber here the last couple hours. But don't worry. We got you covered. So John Gruden, he spoke in, of all places, Arkansas at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Now, when I want my NFL news, I go to the Little Rock Touchdown Club. They've got all the inside information.
Racist.
And so there was Gruden hanging out, having a fine time in the state of Arkansas, and he issued his first on-the-record statement. It was on camera. There was a microphone there. The whole thing was captured for posterity's sake as he was let go because of tawdry emails that had all the isms. And that got him fired from the NFL. And many of those emails from years and years ago. But among the highlights, as Warner Wolf would say, let's go to the audio tape. Here's John Gruden, who says he's making no excuses and he's asking for something from you.
I'm not going to say anything but honest things here. I'm ashamed about what has come about in these emails, and I'll make no excuses for it. It's shameful. But I am a good person. I believe that. I go to church. I've been married for 31 years. I got 3 great boys. I still love football. I've made some mistakes, but I don't think anybody else in here hasn't. And I just ask for forgiveness, and hopefully I get another shot.
All right, so Gruden said he wants to come back again, and he laid it all out right there. But wait, there's more. Well, yeah, listen, if you go to church, you can, do whatever you want. Anyway, here's John Gruden, who, that's why they have confessional, right? You go there, boom, you're good. All right, anyway, here's John Gruden, who also took shots at a former employer that he's not very happy with right now, and this was, of course, music to our ears. Here's Gruden. Let's go to the audio tape.
I get choked up, because there's a lot of misunderstanding out there right now. What you read, what you hear, what you watch on TV. Hell, I worked at ESPN for 9 years. I worked hard at that job. I don't even want to watch the channel anymore because I don't believe everything is true. And I know a lot of it is just trying to get people to watch. But I think we got to get back to reality.
All right. So, knock on wood if you're with me, right? Let us discuss the question, will John Gruden's apology play with the electorate? So I'm shaking my head no on this. I'm shaking my head no. I've got Froggy, umbrella, and phone book. And we'll tie all of these things together. As far as his media take, why don't we start with that one? You'd think if you worked at a media job for 9 years, you'd understand that the whole point of mass media is to get people to watch. I mean, it seems like Gruden was taken away by that. Like, he's shocked that the media companies would try to get people to continue to consume their product, and the only product they have is the whatever they're talking about at that time. But Gruden has been hanging out in semi-darkness. He was out of the spotlight. Now, on a random late August day, he's back and right in the middle of the focus. And this is going to get talked about all night and early part of the day as we head into Wednesday here. It's a bizarre spot to spill your guts. The Arkansas Razorback Luncheon, which is essentially what this event was, the shindig. Now, regardless of that, that's where we are. So the way I see it, the apology will not play in the Matrix. And that's really what John Gruden needs to win the matrix. And I'll tell you why, right? Nothing plays in the matrix of social media. It has already been dissected like a junior high school laboratory froggy. The apology, every man, woman, and child knows how this works. I have been saying it for so many years behind these microphones. Public apologies, when you're someone who's a celebrity, apologies are almost always a bad idea. And John Gruden is learning that lesson right now. A friendly reminder, the reason 80% of people do not believe the apology is sincere. Now, I mentioned the apologies being dissected like a frog in junior high school, and part of that is the church line in the middle. People were blown away that allowed him to do whatever he wanted, and so they were taking shots at him for that. So 80% of the people are poking and prodding at the apology. They also think that he's just doing it because he wants to get back and coach again, which is part of the steps to get back. And then the rest of the electorate, 20%, they don't care because, listen, we all got our own problems. You got your bills to pay. I got my bills to pay. You got issues, whatever it might be, relationship, family, whatever it might be. So apologies also create their own stories. For example, John Gruden issues an apology at a luncheon in Arkansas, and here we are talking about it on 500 radio stations and all over the place. And every TV shows, the talking heads are going to be going on and on about this. So it keeps creating this hurricane or tornado, I guess is a better way to look at it. Tornado of negative stories that swirl round and round as you talk about it. Now, part B of this, does this apology help or hurt the lawsuit, the ongoing lawsuit against the NFL? And so it does not hurt. It does not help. The answer is none of the above. On the surface, it does sound to the novice like a cannonball right to the heart of the legal battle that John Gruden is going through right now. However, when you take a few steps back, it should do nada in that regard. And I'll tell you what, John Gruden is not denying that the emails were inappropriate for mass consumption. At least I didn't see him deny that he sent the emails. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. But he's merely saying that his argument, the lawsuit, is it doesn't matter. That since he was not under the umbrella of the NFL at the time he was sending these emails, 2011 to 2018, the investigation into the old Washington Redskins, who changed their name now, but they were the Redskins when this was going on. And he was working for a broadcast partner, but not an employee of the league, Monday Night Football at the Four-Letter in that small town of Bristol, Connecticut, but not for the league. Therefore, the argument is he should not be retroactively punished years later, and that this is where it becomes nebulous, right? It's hazy, it's blurred. Gruden was fired as part of a strategic takedown, as Brent Musburger, friend of the show now because he was on my podcast, said the NFL, they didn't send in the usual Goombas to take down John Gruden during that investigation. They went to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. So the NFL, their counter-argument, they are claiming that some of those emails happened when Coach Gruden was coaching with the Raiders. And so we won't know for some time as this case works its way. It's kind of snaking through the legal system and the court system and all, obviously, so it takes a long time as it navigates its way through there. But here's the thing about Gruden, right? The biggest part of this is he's got his biggest obstacle is he has to keep this out of arbitration. So far, so good on that. Pretty much all of these claims often end up in arbitration because every contract that an NFL employee signs has the standard verbiage at the end in the fine print that any work dispute goes to arbitration. So far, he found one judge, who allowed that to continue. He's got to keep finding judges. The NFL's their position is they're like, well, we can find a judge that'll agree with us, and then boom, it goes to arbitration. All right, last word here. So, what are the odds that John Gruden gets another shot in the NFL? He said, hey, he loves football. He would like to come back. Well, it's not nothing, but I'm gonna set the odds on this. The Maller Sportsbook odds. I'm gonna go relatively positive. I'll be Benny Brightside for John Gruden. I'm gonna set the odds on this at plus 300, which does not sound particularly terrible or particularly great. It implies a 25% chance, like a 250 hitter in baseball. And I will agree, it is unlikely that Gruden is going to get a chance anytime soon. If only he had fondled a bunch of massage therapists, he would have been golden. He made the mistake of sending offensive emails, and that is high crimes and misdemeanors for the NFL. If he had just merely played touch and smell with the massage therapist there, then, oh my, scratch and sniff. He would have been golden. He would have gotten a $200 million contract to coach somebody, and we would have not even talked about this right now. But Gruden, what he needs is climate change, the climate in the NFL. He needs to dust off the phone book also. My advice, unsolicited advice, is you got to wait a little bit. You wait this year, probably next year, and then you dial a friend. Some aristocrat owner who loved John Gruden on television and has a pathetic coaching situation, and then Gruden can come back. Or the other way to approach this is a former coaching apprentice who you taught how to learn, the X's and O's of football, and somebody that looked up to you, and they're now a coach, and they bring you in as a consultant. And that's a way to get your foot back in the door. There are many disciples of John Gruden who are scattered around the NFL. And if either one of those things happen, the door will open. But Gruden is also, as we all are, chasing time. NFL coaches are getting younger and younger for the most part. There's a few dinosaurs in the NFL, but a lot of the coaches are younger hires now. And John Gruden is 59. Now, at 59 years old as a coach, you're not out to pasture. But if this takes 5-6 years for Gruden to get back, that's a problem. Realistically, he's got about a 5-year window to get himself back in the NFL. And I can see him. I think broadcasting is more realistic as a start somewhere. I could see somebody like Barstool or somebody like that hiring John Gruden, giving him an opportunity to schmooze and to BS and all of that.